What lies beneath the floors of a music mogul's mansion? That's exactly what has the internet buzzing as speculation swirls around Diddy's underground features. When federal agents raided multiple properties in March 2024, questions arose about what might be hidden below ground. The allegations in the federal case paint a picture of elaborate private spaces and secretive operations. But what's the truth behind the viral claims about underground tunnels? What could be so significant about subterranean features that it's captured the world's attention? Stay tuned as we explore the facts, the speculation, and the shocking implications of what might lie beneath one of hip-hop's most controversial empires. The federal raids: what was actually discovered? On March 25, 2024, federal agents executed simultaneous search warrants at Sean Diddy Combs' properties in Los Angeles and Miami, conducting extensive searches of basement and underground areas. The raids involved over 25 federal agents at each location, with teams assigned specifically to examine subterranean spaces and elaborate basement facilities. According to the federal indictment unsealed in September 2024, agents discovered over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricant throughout both properties. Significant quantities of these items were located in basement storage areas and what prosecutors describe as private entertainment spaces located below ground level. The searches also yielded 3 AR-15 rifles and multiple handguns stored in secure basement areas of both properties, along with large quantities of ammunition. While these weapons were legally registered under California and Florida firearms laws, prosecutors argue they were part of what they characterize as an intimidation apparatus. Questions arise about what else federal agents might have discovered during their extensive searches of these underground spaces. The basement areas of both properties feature sophisticated infrastructure that could potentially document activities, though the specifics of what surveillance systems might have captured remains unclear. Legal experts wonder whether the elaborate nature of these basement facilities could be central to the federal prosecution's case. The implications of such extensive underground entertainment spaces could suggest their significance extends beyond typical luxury amenities. The basement features that drew federal attention. The Holmby Hills mansion's basement spans nearly the entire footprint of the 17,000-square-foot property, featuring multiple rooms and specialized areas that required extensive federal documentation during the search. Building permits filed with the city of Los Angeles reveal that Diddy invested millions in basement renovations between 2015 and 2017. The basement houses a state-of-the-art home theater with seating for 35 people, complete with professional-grade sound systems and projection equipment. Adjacent to the theater sits a fully equipped recording studio, raising questions about what activities might have taken place in these sophisticated spaces. Federal investigators encountered multiple entertainment lounges in the basement areas, designed for private gatherings and equipped with advanced audiovisual systems, specialized lighting, and climate control. The presence of such elaborate entertainment infrastructure in underground spaces naturally raises questions about their intended use. The basement also features professional-grade security systems with monitoring capabilities throughout the underground areas. One has to wonder what these surveillance systems might have documented over the years of operation in these private spaces. The sophistication of the basement facilities suggests they were designed for substantial use and activities. The implications could suggest that the scale and complexity of these underground spaces might be relevant to understanding the alleged criminal enterprise. The Miami property's waterfront basement secrets. Diddy's Star Island Miami mansion presents unique engineering challenges for basement construction due to its waterfront location and proximity to sea level. Building records show extensive basement renovations completed in 2019 that required specialized engineering costing over $8 million. The Miami mansion's basement features climate-controlled areas, sophisticated mechanical systems, and what federal agents describe as additional entertainment spaces below the main living areas. The basement renovation required complex waterproofing and drainage systems to function below sea level. The waterfront location of the Star Island property has contributed to speculation about potential underground connections, though the reality appears focused on the elaborate facilities within the property itself. The basement does feature direct access to the property's marina facilities, raising questions about what this configuration might have enabled. During the March 2024 raids, federal investigators spent considerable time examining the Miami basement areas. The presence of similar infrastructure and storage capabilities as found in Los Angelus suggests a pattern in how these underground spaces were configured and potentially utilized. Legal experts wonder whether the basement's proximity to water access points could be relevant to the federal investigation. The situation leaves room for speculation about whether waterfront basement facilities might have provided unique operational advantages. Viral speculation versus documented reality. Social media platforms have exploded with theories about elaborate tunnel systems connecting Diddy's properties to other locations, though federal court documents have not confirmed such discoveries. The viral speculation appears to stem from public fascination with the extensive basement facilities rather than verified evidence. The reality of what has been documented focuses on elaborate entertainment and storage facilities within the basement areas of both properties. Questions arise about how these substantial underground spaces were actually utilized and what evidence of their use might exist. The viral nature of tunnel theories reflects public interest in celebrity lifestyles and the human tendency to imagine elaborate scenarios when official information remains limited. These theories often exceed what federal investigators have publicly disclosed about their findings. One has to wonder if the focus on tunnel speculation might overshadow the actual significance of what federal agents discovered in the documented basement areas. The implications could suggest that the reality of these underground facilities might be more relevant than the theories. Some observers note that the basement features described in available records are elaborate but fall within luxury real estate trends, though their specific configuration and use remain subjects of federal investigation. The scale of Diddy's underground infrastructure. The combined basement space across Diddy's two primary properties exceeds 8,000 square feet of underground facilities, representing one of the largest private basement complexes among celebrity properties. This underground infrastructure required years of construction and millions in investment to create. Real estate records indicate that Diddy spent over $15 million on basement renovations and underground facility construction across both properties since 2014. These investments created elaborate subterranean spaces that far exceed typical celebrity home amenities. The sophisticated infrastructure supporting these basement areas includes advanced climate control systems, emergency power generation, and professional-grade audiovisual equipment throughout the underground spaces. The presence of such extensive monitoring and recording capabilities raises questions about what these systems might have documented. Federal investigators noted the complexity of these basement facilities during their searches, observing the extensive planning and investment required to create such elaborate underground entertainment and storage areas. The scale of these facilities suggests they were designed for substantial and regular use. Questions arise about what activities might have justified such massive investment in underground facilities. Legal experts wonder whether the sophistication and scale of these basement areas might be central to understanding the alleged criminal enterprise. Security and surveillance infrastructure. The basement areas of both properties feature extensive security systems with monitoring capabilities designed to observe all activities in the underground spaces. The presence of such comprehensive surveillance infrastructure naturally raises questions about what these systems might have recorded over years of operation. The security systems include high-definition camera capabilities, motion sensors, and sophisticated monitoring equipment throughout the basement facilities. One has to wonder what documentation these surveillance systems might have created during the periods relevant to the federal charges. Legal experts note that the existence of extensive monitoring systems in private entertainment spaces could potentially provide significant evidence in federal cases, though the specific content of any surveillance records remains undisclosed in public court documents. The sophistication of the basement security systems indicates deliberate documentation capabilities for activities in these underground spaces. The implications could suggest that these surveillance systems might be relevant to the prosecution's case, though their specific content remains sealed. Questions arise about what federal agents might have discovered when they examined these security systems during their March 2024 raids. The situation leaves room for speculation about whether surveillance records could be central to the federal prosecution. The entertainment industry's private gathering culture. Diddy's basement facilities have reportedly hosted exclusive gatherings over the past decade, though the specific nature and extent of these events remains largely undocumented in public records. The underground entertainment spaces provided privacy and exclusivity that appealed to high-profile guests. Industry observers note that basement entertainment areas were used during various events at Diddy's properties, providing intimate spaces that offered additional privacy beyond the main Entertainment areas. The underground setting naturally created an atmosphere of exclusivity and discretion. The elaborate production capabilities of these basement spaces, including professional lighting and sound systems, suggest they were designed to host sophisticated gatherings. Questions arise about what types of activities these facilities were specifically designed to accommodate and document. Celebrity culture often involves private gatherings that require discretion and privacy, making underground entertainment spaces particularly appealing for high-profile individuals. Legal experts wonder whether the nature of activities in these spaces might be relevant to the federal charges. The implications could suggest that these basement entertainment facilities served purposes that extended beyond typical celebrity gathering spaces, though the specific details of their use remain largely undocumented in public sources. Architectural significance of underground design. The design and construction of Diddy's basement facilities required specialized architectural expertise and significant financial investment to create functional underground entertainment spaces. The complexity of these projects suggests they were intended for specific and substantial use. Building permits and construction records show that proper approvals were obtained for all basement construction projects, working with licensed architects and contractors to create underground facilities that met local building codes. The scope of these projects indicates significant planning and investment. The architectural challenges of creating elaborate basement facilities, particularly in the waterfront Miami location, required specialized engineering solutions that added considerably to construction costs. These investments suggest the underground spaces were considered essential rather than optional amenities. Legal experts note that the architectural sophistication of these basement facilities could be relevant to understanding their intended purposes and actual use. The implications could suggest that the design features might provide insights into how these spaces were meant to function. Questions arise about whether the specific architectural features of these basement areas might be significant to the federal investigation. The situation leaves room for speculation about how design elements could relate to the alleged criminal activities. Federal investigation procedures in complex properties. Federal agents conducting searches of elaborate properties with extensive basement facilities follow specialized protocols designed to ensure thorough examination of complex underground spaces. The searches of Diddy's properties required coordination among multiple federal agencies and specialized teams. The complexity of searching basement areas with multiple rooms and sophisticated systems required federal agents to spend extensive time documenting and examining every aspect of the underground facilities. Questions arise about what evidence collection procedures might have revealed during these comprehensive searches. Federal search warrants specifically authorized agents to examine underground storage areas, entertainment facilities, and any subterranean spaces on both properties. The scope of these warrants reflects the serious nature of the federal charges and suggests investigators expected to find relevant evidence in basement areas. Legal experts note that federal evidence collection in complex basement facilities follows strict protocols designed to ensure admissibility while respecting constitutional protections. The implications could suggest that whatever evidence might have been collected from these underground spaces would be subject to rigorous legal standards. The thoroughness of federal searches in elaborate basement facilities often reveals evidence that property owners might not expect to be significant. One has to wonder what aspects of these underground spaces might have drawn particular federal attention during the investigations. Legal implications of basement evidence. Federal prosecutors have indicated that evidence related to the basement facilities of both properties could be central to proving the racketeering and sex trafficking charges against Diddy. The private and secluded nature of underground entertainment spaces might be significant to the prosecution's case. Legal experts note that the elaborate basement facilities could be relevant to proving allegations about the secretive nature of the alleged criminal enterprise. The underground setting and sophisticated infrastructure might support prosecutors' arguments about the organized nature of the alleged activities. Questions arise about how evidence from basement areas might be presented in court proceedings and what specific aspects of these underground facilities might be most relevant to the federal charges. The implications could suggest that the basement evidence might be crucial to the prosecution's strategy. Defense attorneys will likely argue that elaborate basement facilities were designed for legitimate entertainment purposes, and that their existence does not prove criminal activity. The interpretation of basement-related evidence will probably be heavily contested during trial proceedings. The outcome of this case may establish important precedents for how courts evaluate evidence related to elaborate private entertainment facilities in cases involving allegations of criminal enterprises operating in underground spaces. Diddy's real estate empire and investment strategy. Sean "Diddy" Combs has built one of the entertainment industry's most impressive real estate portfolios, with properties valued at over $220 million. His significant investments in underground facilities represent a substantial portion of his overall property development strategy. The Holmby Hills mansion, purchased in 2014 for $40 million from Mariah Carey's estate, sits on 1.3 acres and required extensive underground excavation to create the current basement facilities. The property now features 12 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms, and the elaborate basement complex that has drawn federal attention. The Star Island, Miami property, purchased in 2003 for $14.5 million and now valued at over $48 million, underwent major basement construction that required specialized engineering due to its waterfront location. The investment in underground facilities at this property exceeded $8 million. Diddy's broader real estate portfolio includes additional properties in New York, Georgia, and other locations, though the Los Angeles and Miami mansions represent his primary residences and the focus of federal investigation. The scale of his real estate investments reflects his success across multiple business ventures. The financial commitment to elaborate basement facilities across multiple properties suggests these underground spaces were considered essential components of Diddy's lifestyle and business operations rather than merely luxury amenities. The broader context of celebrity underground spaces. The luxury real estate market has seen increasing demand for elaborate basement facilities among ultra-wealthy buyers, with underground entertainment spaces becoming standard features in high-end celebrity properties. This trend reflects desires for privacy, security, and unique entertainment options. Contemporary celebrity homes often feature multi-level basement areas designed for various purposes, including theaters, recording studios, fitness facilities, and private entertainment spaces that can accommodate gatherings while maintaining maximum privacy and discretion. Real estate developers specializing in celebrity properties report that basement entertainment spaces are among the most requested features in luxury property renovations, reflecting the importance wealthy clients place on private gathering areas that offer complete privacy from public observation. The trend toward elaborate basement facilities also reflects celebrities' security needs, as underground spaces can provide secure areas for valuable collections, important documents, and emergency shelter if needed. These practical considerations often justify significant investments in basement infrastructure. However, legal experts note that the existence of elaborate basement facilities becomes more significant when those spaces are allegedly connected to criminal activities, transforming luxury amenities into potential evidence of criminal enterprise operations. Technological infrastructure in underground spaces. The basement facilities at both of Diddy's primary properties feature sophisticated technological infrastructure that goes beyond typical luxury home amenities. This includes professional-grade audiovisual systems, advanced climate control, and comprehensive security capabilities throughout the underground areas. The technological sophistication of these basement spaces required substantial investment and ongoing maintenance, suggesting they were designed for regular and intensive use rather than occasional entertainment. Questions arise about what purposes this advanced infrastructure was intended to serve. The presence of professional recording and production equipment in basement areas indicates capabilities for creating and documenting various types of content. Legal experts wonder whether this technological infrastructure might be relevant to the federal charges involving alleged recording of activities. Communication and monitoring systems throughout the basement facilities suggest comprehensive oversight capabilities for all activities in these underground spaces. The implications could suggest that these technological features might have created evidence relevant to the federal investigation. One has to wonder what federal investigators might have discovered when they examined the technological infrastructure of these basement facilities during their March 2024 raids. The sophistication of these systems naturally raises questions about their documentation capabilities. The future of the investigation. As federal prosecutors prepare for trial, questions remain about how evidence related to basement facilities might factor into their case strategy. The extensive underground infrastructure continues to be subject to ongoing federal investigation and analysis. Legal experts wonder whether basement-related evidence might lead to expanded charges or additional defendants who may have participated in activities at these underground entertainment spaces. The situation leaves room for speculation about potential additional prosecutions. The viral speculation about underground tunnels and secret passages may continue to evolve, though federal investigators appear focused on the documented basement facilities within each property rather than external tunnel systems. Federal prosecutors maintain that evidence related to the basement areas provides important support for the criminal enterprise allegations, while defense attorneys will likely argue that elaborate entertainment facilities do not constitute evidence of criminal activity. The resolution of this case will likely provide important insights into how federal prosecutors use evidence from elaborate private entertainment facilities and may influence how similar cases involving underground spaces are investigated and prosecuted in the future. If you're as intrigued by these underground revelations as we are, go ahead and like this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the extensive basement facilities and the questions they raise? Do you believe elaborate underground entertainment spaces could be relevant to criminal investigations, or are they simply evidence of celebrity luxury? We want to hear your perspective. Then hit subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss our coverage of this developing story. Thanks for watching.